Hey,
There,
Hey,
Diane.
there she is.
Hello, hello. How's everyone?
Good.
Hi.
Wrestling with technology.
Well, yes, that's true. Make the difference.
Where's Bobby?
Wandering around the house somewhere, I don't know. He may not show his face. He may be here though.
Ooh. Hey,
Oh,
Marcus.
there's Mark. There's Taiwan.
Yeah, our Taiwanese buddy.
We were
What
just
time is it
talking
there?
about it, you and Robert and I, the Rotary Conventions in Taipei in June.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I know, I was reading about coffee, some coffee drink with little tapioca pearls in it or something. We were just talking about you.
Hello, Billy Boy.
Oh, Mark.
Hey, hey, how many people have adopted the live long and prosper now that we can't shake hands, right?
Oh, there you go. I could never do it.
Well, yeah, that's a problem. You got to be from Vulcan, right?
Oh, and here comes Mike.
Nice.
Not sure if I want to drink my
Yes,
that must have been
margarita.
Oh, yeah,
Paul.
normal.
No, Mark's here too.
Paul Sideman.
No.
Hi,
Hey,
Mark.
there's- Man, that's
Hi,
Anston,
Stephanie.
yeah.
Oh, there's Bobby.
Hey,
You bet.
Stephanie.
Robbie.
Yeah.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
picking my teeth.
Oh, there's Barbara.
There she is.
There's John.
And John. Now, let's see, Mike. For some reason, Mike, you got to turn on your camera. Oh, your camera's on.
Should be. I can see myself.
The other Mike, normal.
Normal. Yeah, blank spot.
Can't see him. His camera's on, but I can't. Huh. Oh, there's Cheryl.
Jim, where are
Oh.
you? Belize
Cheryl.
vacationing with the Mayans or something?
He's getting ready to.
You look like you should
I've
have
got to
a
keep going.
colada in your hand.
Yeah, he has a good background, right?
There's Lynn. All right.
At 20 so far.
20 so far. I think we have a total of about 30 plus or minus. So
Yeah.
That's a lot of men. Nice to see a lot of men. I mean, that
Yeah.
around and you're involved.
Easy for you to say, right?
My move ring was off track yesterday. My master here.
So Mike Normoyle, if you can hear us,
I can hear you.
you need to, there's a video camera icon in the lower right-hand side of the Zoom. And you need
Yeah.
to click on that so your camera will go live.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to bring up the big picture here. Can you hear me
Yeah,
audio
I
though?
can hear you.
Okay. Hello all, I'm here.
We believe you.
Hey, there he is.
That's better.
Well, I have to say Garrison is well represented.
I drove by there last month.
It doesn't look the same. Well, it does and it doesn't.
Well, all the portable stuff these days, you know? Portable classrooms.
Are you talking about the school? The school has portable classrooms?
Yeah, Garrison.
Oh, Garrison. Oh, that's way back farther.
Way
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
That one.
Jim and I and Dave Bauman, Mike Normoyle, we were all Garrison kids.
Oh.
Little League champions.
Little League champions. 1960. just a few years ago.
Just
Yeah.
a few.
Just a few. Sounds like gifts for another book.
Jimmy, Jimmy, shh, they can hear you.
I was going to say, Dave, were you the winning pitcher at that game?
I believe so.
Think so.
Ah,
I think me and Jim pitched that game, and yeah,
Exactly.
there's two of us.
Yeah,
I think we beat Enslin 6-2.
we did beat Enslin. Larry Dempsey has never let me forget it. Or Paul Abbey.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wouldn't have liked that, no.
Yeah, they all do.
Gosh.
We'll give it a few more minutes and see who else joins in.
Susie, you don't still live in Santa Fe, do you?
Yeah, I do.
We've lived in the same town for how many decades and we don't know that.
50 years. I think I've been here 50 years.
I came in 81, so 39, I think I wrote down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice to see you.
I remember seeing you last in the grocery store, I think.
Are you in Santa Fe today?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got snow.
No. Good.
No, we got snow today. Yeah,
How nice is that?
Send some to Houston.
it was 80 degrees on Monday and it was 30 degrees this morning.
Mm.
Like
It's
Denver.
snow this morning.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, hey, Alan.
Who's me are we
listening
And there's Helmut. We can hear you, Helmut.
Yes.
Figured it out.
Okay. It's the middle of the night here.
Hey, wie geht's, Helmut?
Gut, danke.
Good.
Alan, good to see you.
Yes, good to hear. I can't see
I
you.
enjoy listening to your music.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
I missed
we're
your
global.
smiling face.
We've got the Netherlands and we've got Taiwan joining
And
us.
Texas.
That's the whole world almost.
Yeah.
We still can't see.
Well, actually, I'm in Germany. I'm not in the Netherlands right now. I'm somewhere near Frankfurt.
Ah, all
Oh,
right.
there you are. There you are.
Well, Mike, we still can't see you.
Yeah, you know, I had this problem the other day, and there's an app that's interfering with my ability to open up the camera. I don't want to slow us down at all. I can hear everybody, see everybody.
Okay, we can hear you.
All right.
How do you see everybody? I only see 9 people.
Or you're on your iPad,
Oh,
Cheryl?
go to
I only see 9
full
people.
screen. Yeah.
Where do I go?
Let me
Upper
see.
right, full screen.
Right?
Full
Let's-
screen, yeah.
You want gallery view, not
Yeah.
speaker view.
Right.
Top right-hand corner. A little grid. Click on that.
Hmm.
And then you can use the arrow button to click across to see other people.
Yeah, I can only see 4 at a time.
I don't see those
Yeah.
buttons.
So, yeah, you need to hit the full screen or something.
Yeah, the upper right, there's a
Okay.
grid, 4 corners, says enter full screen. That'll give you some more real estate.
Yeah.
Cheryl, are you on an iPad or on the computer?
I'm on iPad.
Oh, I think yours is down in the, is it down in the right side? If you,
Tap it, Cheryl. It's down. It's okay. If you tap it, it's on the left-hand side.
Okay, up at the top?
Yes,
oh, is it at the top, Sandy? I thought it was at the bottom.
left-hand side top.
Now I see Big Sandy and people across the bottom.
Right, and then switch to.
Gallery view.
Oh, that's okay. That's not right.
Now there's 9 people again.
It might be limited on the iPad.
No, it's not.
You
Let's
know,
see here.
on a, no, it's
Active
not.
speaker.
Okay, so you know.
Well, yeah, you just switch active speaker, Cheryl, or go back again to the big one. So that circle on the bottom, tap. It's switch to gallery view.
Hey, Mark. Can you hear me?
Who?
Alan. Yodelay, yodelay.
There he is,
Heard it.
the yodeling winemaker.
Hey, man. I was
Hey.
trying to get the Taiwanese guy. I don't know if I got his attention or not.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. Looking good, brother.
I can see you. Why can't you see me?
I see you.
Okay.
I see you.
You
I
changed
put on
your
my
shirt.
Hawaiian shirt to
Yeah.
just
Noticed.
jazz it up. Jim Chambers got me going. Oh, hey, where's Robin?
Playing bridge.
I mean, where's Robert?
Bobby?
I saw him back behind.
There he is.
There he is.
The power behind the throne.
I'd say the other way around.
Ooh.
Thank you, Mark.
Where's Robert?
He's right. Did you see
back
him?
here.
He's hiding.
I'm in the background. I'm
He
not
for-
hiding. I'm just watching.
Did you figure it out, Cheryl?
No, the only thing I can get is a big one and then a bunch across the bottom or 9 at once.
Okay, and then Cheryl, slide it. Scroll like you're going to
Slide it,
scroll.
and I slide it to the side and I see more people.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can't see everybody.
At 9 at a time. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you better watch mine.
Yeah.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi. Oh, that's Ken. Hi.
Hey, Roberto Moresi and Diane, how you doing?
We're good.
Good,
I speak for both.
good.
It's an unusual day today. We have
Yes.
smoke and fog, and the smoke is on top of the fog, and it's like red and really ominous outside today.
Ow.
It's very
Well, it's-
strange.
Yeah.
At 7 a.m. it was like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, is it there, your house too, Alan?
Oh yeah, it was the red dawn, but really dark, deep, freaky.
Yeah.
My simple vocabulary, it's creepy.
There you go.
Yeah, we had a big fire up here in Ashland, started yesterday and burned out towards Talent and Phoenix, which is north of us, the fire. But it started on the north edge of Ashland and burned up what we call the Greenway along the creek. And then, I don't know, burned quite a few homes in Talent, quite a few homes in Phoenix. And hopefully they've got it out by the time it got to Medford. But it was pretty nasty. So.
Yeah, it's
Hello, Janice.
Hi.
Oh, Janice.
Hi,
Hey,
Janice.
Janice.
Hello.
Hi.
So you weren't that late after all.
I said, no, I'm not that late. Hi, Ken. I try to remember what you look like. I couldn't remember. I'm sorry.
Quite all right.
He's changed a little bit.
We've changed a little since.
Yes, we have.
Well, should we go ahead and get started?
I don't think Diane Moresi has ever changed in her life.
Right. Wishful thinking, Barbara. How are you? Cindy sends her hello.
So I think we'll go ahead and get started, and then if people join in as we go along, that'll be fine. I think we were only supposed to have 30, and we're pretty close to that right now.
Okay.
I think who else is going to join us. So anyway, glad to see everybody. Hope you're weathering the storms. So a couple reminders, we're recording the session so we can share it with people who didn't make it. If you have any questions specifically for somebody or for us, you can put it in the chat box for those of you who can get access to that. And I think you should all be able to do that. In fact, I'll say hello now to everybody so you can see it. Oh no, I sent that to Henrietta only. We sent it to everyone. You can send it to somebody specifically, or you can send it to the group.
Oh yeah.
Got it. Yeah, see that.
And so if you have a question or a comment or whatever, we'll be monitoring those so you can
You said hi.
post that anytime you'd like.
Okay.
So we were going to start with some updates from those folks who wanted to give us updates. So the first one was, who got back to us the first time would be Mr. Shaw. We'll let Terry give us an update on what's going on with him. And then
Yeah,
listen
well,
to everybody else.
Yeah. Well, for me, living in Ashland here, Oregon, about 14 years. And let's see, spend my winters skiing, spend the rest of the time playing tennis and road biking and going for hikes with Nuria and, in the mountains around Ashland here. So, hey, I'm just being real physical right now.
Riding bikes with Barney.
Yeah, I rode bikes with Barney on the coast a few weeks ago, which haven't had a chance to do that for a while. And then, I played 3 sets of tennis this morning after, walking 3 miles too. So which is a typical day. So yeah, and they're going to resurface our tennis courts. So I've got to do a lot more road biking for a couple of weeks while they do that. So, hey, life is tough for an old guy. So yeah, it's like, yeah, well, what can I say? I'm just, some of my friends got scared by the fire, that happened, who lived in Talon or Phoenix. But right now, I'm not sure. I'm hoping none of them got burned out. So we'll see. And let's see, my son, Seth, just completed the Pacific Crest Trail a few weeks ago. He started like March 31st. So the whole COVID time, he's been on the Pacific Crest Trail until he got to Canada, and then they wouldn't let him in, so he had to fly back to San Diego. Anyway, so that he stopped in here, and I hiked with him just a small section of the trail, which was a lot of fun. And so that's pretty much what we've been up to. So not a lot. It's been sort of hunkered down here and just get a lot of exercise. So lucky me.
You're an active guy.
Yeah, right.
All right. Barbara.
I wrote something down to make sure I would be in the time frame. So here's what I wrote. When we all graduated in 1966, I had no idea what my life would turn out to be, but I was really excited to go up to Berkeley with its 27,000 students. Since then, I have found this human experience amazing beyond my imaginings, full of abundance on several levels, creative expression, a profound, ever-evolving partnership, deep relationships, purpose, and meaning. I was a wanderer for years, looking for what I thought of as my true home, and found it physically, at least on the physical plane, 39 years ago when my path brought me to Santa Fe, New Mexico. My husband, Walter, and I have been together for 32 years, and we had children late and have a 28-year-old daughter, and our son turns 30 tomorrow. So we tell people we had our own grandkids, basically, is kind of what we did. But at 78 and 72, 78, we're both still working. And our favorite thing right now is we're also teaching a course we created called Creative Aging, Embracing Life with Passion, Purpose, and Possibility, which has taken us to Ukraine, Mexico, Canada twice, as well as a number of locations in the United States. So we've found the aging process, when approached consciously, to be enlivening and transformational. And I hope that all of you find it purposeful for you too. Very different world from yours, Vanston. Although we do our mile at the track regularly.
All right. Stephanie.
Okay, well, I'm still in Modesto, have never left, and enjoy good health. I retired from the Sutter Gould Medical Foundation after 49 years. I retired 2 years ago and love being retired. I stay busy. My husband, Chris, and I had 4 children, and then I married someone that had 6. And so we have 10 children and 13 grandchildren. They're spread all over. We are going to Warroad, Minnesota next month. We were going to Hawaii, but that's out of the picture now. So we're going to Warroad, where it's already 55 degrees. It's like an hour from Winnipeg. So it will be interesting. It's cold there, but I think we'll be enjoying the fresh air. Have enjoyed good health, I had both of my knees replaced at the same time 2 years ago. Had a benign brain tumor removed 5 years ago. And just, try to stay busy. My husband is an avid golfer, so I try to play golf. I enjoy it. And I'm not very good, but that's okay. I like being outside and doing that. I have a lot of hobbies. I have to stay busy because I have a lot of energy. And so I started sewing masks when COVID hit, and my sister and I have made 1,000 masks to donate to seniors. And my parents were at Bethel before they passed, and so we donated several there. And I like to knit. I do Zumba. Just completed a 10K walk. The first one I did, and probably the only one I will do. Didn't bother my knees, but my hips weren't real thrilled at the end of that walk. So anyway, we're doing well, and hope everybody else is too.
Nice. Mr. Peterson.
Very thoughtful.
We here in Taiwan, we jumped on the mask thing really early, and we live an absolutely normal life over here. Today's my Thursday health day. I go out to the beach and body surf and play bocce ball with a couple of friends, and stay neck deep in the ocean for about half a day. I have a little wine business over here, and I sit on the board of a IT company. We sell RJ45s to most of the servers in the world. So that's pretty exciting, but we don't get to travel anymore. We used to travel pretty broadly around the world. My big project right now is taking care of my 17-year-old. I had a child even later than any of you guys, I suppose. I was 57 when I had my baby. Anyway, she's a delight, and she's a joy of my life. And I get along with my wife pretty well after 20 years, I suppose. 2 different cultures, you know. I haven't grown up yet, 17 still. I just refuse to do that stuff, Life's pretty much fun. We're, like I say, I've got that 17-year-old. We're working on getting her entered into a college. She's writing her essays, and I'm trying to stick my nose in, and she doesn't want it. And I get up every morning at 6:30 and drive her to school. It takes us 45 minutes to get to school. And it's a lot of fun, and I'm happily married and active, and still kicking. And wish I were in Modesto right now during my traditional trip to Motown to see all my friends and be with my loved ones. All of you have been in my heart, since high school, since grammar school, since junior high. And you bring me the greatest happiness, just being out there and being in my life, in my heart. And I want to thank you all for that.
Very nice. Janice.
Okay, well, I still live in Modesto, and it's pretty ashy today. Lots of ash on the garden, the yard, and the cars and everything. But I'm doing fine. I've lived where I live right now about 40 years. I worked at Sutter Medical Center for the Sutter system for 45 years. I was the director of education there and training, and Sandy Gant was one of my employees for quite a while.
Yeah.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Janice.
Yeah. So I retired about 7 years ago, and I just keep myself busy. I volunteer a lot. I volunteer at the Gospel Mission. I volunteer with the charitable board for our church. And then I also volunteer with Samaritan's Purse. And I'm a site leadership team cook for them. And my sister and I, Virginia and I, we're the only West Coast cooks for the site leadership team for Samaritan's Purse. So when they come to California, because it's a disaster, we usually end up going. And I've gone out, volunteered 2 to 3 weeks at a time, over 15 times now in the last few years. And so I'm expecting to go to either Sonoma. They lost about 700 homes so far, or Santa Cruz, and they have lost over 900 homes. So Samaritan's Purse sends their disaster team out there. They go out there and they literally clean up. They just clean up properties, and their main focus are widows or widowers, retired military, first responders, and single moms or single dads, and in particular, elderly who do not have insurance. That's the people they go and help, and it's at no charge to the person. So what I do when I go is I cook for the people who come and stay overnight. And it's usually 35 to 75 people, depending on how many volunteer. And it's a big job, but I really like it. You meet a lot of wonderful people. And what's interesting about it is most of the volunteers are either retired firemen, retired policemen, retired teachers, or retired healthcare people. And they're the people who've been in the services, and I've met lots of wonderful people from all over the country. So it's been a good experience for me. I really like it. And other than that, I keep myself busy by gardening and quilting and sewing and helping. That's what I do. So
Fantastic.
Very nice. Well, speaking of Sonoma, Cindy Denenholz was supposed to join us, but they turned off her power.
No. Bummer.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going to be on in time, so she wasn't going to be able to join us, but that's...
We were up at Chico for like 5 weeks. That was a really tough disaster.
Yeah.
Very, very tough. Horrible stories.
John Wright is next up.
Is my mic on? Can you hear me?
It is. We can hear you.
Well, most of you know I went down to UCLA after graduating, and the big event of college was with Lynn Whetstone ending up going year abroad in Germany, hooking up with Helmut, making all kinds of friends and new friends. And that's been a very big part of my life ever since. So we all we talk a lot about Davis and the years that were there. I ended up going to law school down at UCLA, ended up with a lot of various kind of crazy travel opportunities. In 1981, led a group into People's Republic of China. Before there were any American tourists. It was really amazing. I ended up in in-house law with First Bank of America, then Union Bank, specializing in trusts, investments, and real estate. Retired in 2008. But I've still practiced law on the side, so anybody who wants advice on trusts or wills or stuff like that, if you're in California, if you're in Santa Fe, I can't help you because I'm not a New Mexico lawyer.
Soliciting.
No, not soliciting. Just letting people know. I've been very involved in nonprofit and volunteering. Helped to found the Habitat for Humanity Los Angeles affiliate back in the 90s. And we worked with Jimmy Carter, the Jimmy Carter Work Project in 1995. And I got to know the president and Rosalind, and they're great people. Later worked on board of directors of various LGBT organizations. Craftsman House, which takes lots of effort and work. It's a registered landmark. So during COVID, I'm basically just puttering around the house and sitting by the pool or the hot tub and taking little walks and just enjoying life, and can't wait to see everybody again and be over, and supposed to be in Germany right now even, but that didn't work out. So that's it.
Right. Sandy.
Hey, is my mic on? You can hear me?
You can hear
Okay. Well, I can't see me anymore, so okay. I'm Sandy Cummins, and I have been married a little over 50 years to Vernon Gant. We have 2 married daughters and 4 grandchildren. They all live in San Diego. And we have been trekking back and forth to San Diego for the last 25 years. I can't tell you how many thousands of miles that has added up to, but that's what happens when you have family far away. I'm happily retired, and Vernon is happily working. And so this works out for us. We're simple, but life is good. We're healthy, and that's important.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Darpinian.
I've lived here in the Modesto area my entire life. A little over 20 years ago, Lynn and I looked from Southern Oregon down to Santa Barbara. We'd take long weekends. We thought, well, at some point, lived here all my life, to live somewhere else. And as it turned out, we found a place kind of halfway between Empire and Waterford. So we live out on Dry Creek. We have about 3.5 acres. Really, out of all the places we saw, this is one of the most beautiful spots we found. And so I'm still part of our family farming operation, semi-retired from that. And my younger cousin is managing everything now and is probably doing a better job than I could have done. So, so Lynn and I have been married for 42 years. Between us, we have 4 kids and 6 grandkids. And my daughter, for those that you don't know, is named Signa after Signa Mitchell. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Oh, and it looks like I should have powdered my forehead before we started.
Definitely.
I'm seeing a reflection.
Actually, Signa was supposed to join us today, but something must have come up. Mr. Chambers.
Yeah, that's me. Left Modesto in 1966. Never came back. I mean, I've been back, but not to live. 30, gosh. In the early 80s, met my wife. We have 3 kids, 7 grandkids, 1 great-granddaughter. 5 of the grandkids are in California, so I'm always back over. Our daughter lives in Alameda. Another son lives in Manteca. Because when you raise them in the military, spent 24 years in the military. My wife spent 20 years in the military, U.S. Air Force. So we lived all over the world. We drugged the kids all over the world. They get pretty independent. And Modesto became, you know, when you go home and see the parents, that's kind of the only home you have. So 2 of them ended up settling there. The other one's in Florida. Grandkids are in, 2 of them in the Carolinas, in school there. And life is good. We went from the military. My last assignment was at the Pentagon, so we live on the East Coast. We live in Pennsylvania, in the middle of 80 acres up there. I just finished a subdivision. We're peeling off 58 acres for a healing center. A little bit like some of what you've been doing, Barbara. We've got some of that going on, but we're focused right now on military veterans. You know, as many of you may know, on average, 22 combat veterans commit suicide every single day in America. And those are men and women. So there's a lot of moms, there's a lot of dads, and a lot of families left behind because of PTSD. So we want to do our part, do what we can there. So that'll be standing up as a nonprofit in the next year and a half, 2 years, something like that. I went into national security in Washington, D.C. after the military, stayed there. I was in Washington for 18 years. So spent a lot of time in the White House doing a lot of things that the government can't talk about or touch. They hire people to do that. And I happened to be in a $15 billion company at the number 4 level, and they hired me and a whole bunch of people that I had to do things. So did that all over the world, even after my military retirement. So we traveled a lot. We left there in 2003, and that was about as close to retiring as I wanted to get. In 2008, we got hooked up with a lifestyle company, and now we travel, wholesale and curated travel, things like that. Also earn money through that. So, gosh, we've been on over 150 vacations in 2008. We average 1 or 2 a month because you can when you got time and you create a residual income, and that's our life. We're helping people make money and have a better life with lifestyle. Really excited. We're kicking off a new nutritional line in our lifestyle company. So we're already doing all the travel. We're already doing peace of mind stuff. And now we're going to bring in with our own things for nutrition and health. You know, the 5 things we all chase, right? Relationships and health and finance and spiritual things. And that's what we're working on, is helping people to solve those 5 things in their lives. I'll do that till I take my last breath. There's no such thing as retirement anymore. Retirement to me is no alarm clock. Get up when you want or don't. You know, go somewhere when you want or don't. I mean, when you control your life, that's retirement for me. I will always be working with people, doing Zooms. I was on a Zoom yesterday with 700 or 800 people on it, which is why we're using my platform today, because we can handle a lot with this stuff. And so we have friends all over the world, global friends, because of our lifestyle company and club and so forth. So thoroughly enjoying life, thoroughly enjoying kids, and my great-granddaughter as well. So glad to see all your smiling faces today.
Thanks, Jim. So I will give an update. I'm back in Modesto after having lived in Davis and the Bay Area and Hawaii. And I'm married to Robin, have 2 adult stepsons and 1 grandson who just turned 2. You probably can sort of see him. His name is Cayetano Pascual, after his great-grandfather. So I spend most of my time writing. I've got a book coming out in November and another one coming out after the first of the year. I'm working on a stage play about the Maddox brothers and Rose, who got their start here in Modesto and who lived up in Terry's part of the world, lived in Ashland for a number of years. And they actually are credited with starting rockabilly and rock and roll. So that's been fun working on that. I've been doing some virtual education seminars with the State Theater, did American Graffiti in June, and doing Chinatown in January. I'm also helping with the American Graffiti Museum, which is in the old Lings building on 9th Street. So that's moving forward. I'm playing a little music with my family, playing Trivial Pursuit remotely, learning how to play bridge. In fact, I'm playing bridge with Susie's sister, Nancy. And then, as I say, getting to know my grandson, Cayetano, and watching the Giants. I just found out, I bought one of those cutouts. If anybody's been watching games, I bought one of those cutouts for Robin and I, and finally figured out where we were located. So that's been fun. And then basically trying to stay healthy and sane in all of this craziness. So that's what's going on with me. Does anybody else that didn't give us an update want to chime in at this point?
I'll chime in.
All right.
This is
Still
Serena.
can't see Mike. Where's
Are you
Mike?
unmuted?
No, he's dark. He's He said
Mike,
black.
okay, Mike.
Should I go ahead?
Sure.
Everybody hear me all right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the lone video holdout, and that's primarily because if you could see me, you probably wouldn't recognize me. The long gray hair, I've got a beard, and basically playing hippie down here on the central coast of California. I've relocated to a little town called Napomo, which is just a little bit south of San Luis Obispo. It's a great area. Carol and I have been here for several years now. So we're a little bit distant from the family, but all of our family is in California or Nevada, except for one child who is in upstate New York. As I think most of you know, or many of you know, I've been married twice now to two Carolyns. We have a blended family, and we have a great time with now 4 grandkids. I spent some time back on the East Coast during law school and after law school at Cornell, and then eventually came back to California and to Modesto, where I was involved in different law firms for a number of years. I'm still practicing, although my practice has been reduced greatly, and what I am still doing, I can do from here in Napomo from the home office. I'm just realizing that as everyone is becoming so familiar with this format that we're using, which is really amazing, I, for one, certainly had never heard of Zoom before 2020.
Yeah.
And if you just imagine how our lives have changed in a matter of months.
Yeah.
It's really incredible. And I think that we're all finding ways to deal with it and to talk honestly about it and to feel honestly and emotionally about it. And it's one of those things that really rocks you, and you can determine how you're going to react to it and respond to it and live through it. And this is one of the good ways to do it. And I certainly thank those who put the gathering together. I'll just share with you just anecdotally, for me, what's been really important over the last several years. It's become more meaningful, first because of all the people who were involved, and now the people who are continuing to be involved, even though we've lost some. 3 years ago, we had a reunion, our 50th reunion of the UOP baseball team that was inducted into the UOP Hall of Fame as a team. And with the exception of one of our team members who had died prematurely, every single member of that baseball team from all over the country gathered in Stockton, California with our coach for a weekend. And so we have these hats, we call them the GOAT hats, greatest of all time, UOP. And this band of brothers has become very special as we, over the last several years, have sort of all gone through different experiences with family members and kids and things happening, but we're sticking through this together. And I would imagine that all of you have similar groups of people who support you and cheer you on and hold you up. So I applaud our getting together. Let's try to do this some more. And hopefully it won't be too long from now.
Thanks,
Great.
Mike. And I see Randy just joined us, and Joyce. We got a couple more attendees. We're doing updates, Randy and Joyce. So who else would like to
I'd like
say
to.
anything? Alan.
Well, I'm a last century guy in a this century world, and happy to be connected to both. And I have to say that ain't life grand, and aren't we lucky and blessed to be here today to see each other when so many people aren't. And so I say hello to all of you. I've been married for 45 years to my wife, Susan. We live in Napa, California. For the first 20 years, I was on the road playing music through the United States and Canada. And for the last 25 years, although I've still been dabbling in the music thing, I've been I fell into the wine industry, like my good friend Mark Peterson there. I guess we stumbled in, didn't we, Mark? We didn't fall. But so I've been doing that. I'm kind of semi-retired. I work for Peizu Winery and have said worked for them for 25 years, but still have a connection with them. Writing music. I'm writing a memoir. I'm trying to keep up with Ken White, but he's too prolific for me. But working on a memoir from kind of my crazy life through the music industry and wine industry and all this good jazz, and coming from the great town of Modesto. And play music every day and walk every day. And we like to go hiking, and we would be in Switzerland right now, except obviously you can't go anywhere. So this is the best I can do, is to hang out here in Napa. It's great to see you all. I wish you all well and all your families, and I hope that we survive these plagues that seem to be everywhere. So blessings to us all.
Thank you, Alan. Anybody else?
And I'll go.
Lynn, great.
So I graduated from UC Davis and then lived and worked in Sacramento for 30 years. I retired in 2000 as an executive with the state of California. I worked for a bunch of different departments and then kind of reinvented myself. Jim, who I've been with for 44 years, and I moved up to the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe in 2001. And I've kind of become an outdoors person basically since then. I do, the winter I do snowshoeing and easy backcountry skiing. Summer I do kayaking, tennis, and a lot of hiking. And my way of coping with COVID has been to basically explore all the new trails I could find, kind of right in the area that the tourists don't know about. So the excitement is finding out how they join together. So that's really helped keep me sane. And the other thing I do related to that is for our local AAUW branch. For about 15 years, I've been leading the hiking and snowshoeing group, which kind of serves as almost like a welcome wagon for women who come to Incline and came up here because they really like to be outdoors. So I'm really enjoying retirement, and I've been retired for 20 years now. So I hope I can stay as active as I've been able to.
Thanks, Lynn. Anybody else?
Oh, I'll go.
Susie.
Yep, thanks. I was just connecting to all of what you were saying. There's a lot of similarities in my life with a lot of you as well. I was realizing the only other reunion I went to was after 5 years. It was our 5-year reunion. And that was crazy. It was like a wild party. But so right now I'm settled in Santa Fe. I've been here almost 50 years. I have 2 grown children and a grandchild. I'm a children's therapist and loving that. So I tried to retire, but because I love my job so much, it's a passion, and retirement just didn't work for me. So I decided to start a nonprofit, and that's been about 1.5 years. It's a child counseling center and training for other therapists and social workers that want to work with children. And so that's really was getting off the ground, and then COVID hit. So we had to figure out how to help the children and their families online. So that has been quite a learning experience, but very exciting too. Trying to do play therapy. Trying to do play therapy online has been a challenge. But we're doing it, and the agency is successful, and we're helping a lot of kids and a lot of families through this hard time as well. So I'm really happy to be here, and it's great to see all of you. I'm glad everybody's doing well.
Kathy, did you say you wanted to say something?
No, I can.
Oh, no, I thought you raised your hand. That's all right.
I don't know, maybe I did by accident, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of boring after listening to everybody else and all their exciting and high level things. I was married to Richard Rose for 27 years, and we had 2 children together. A son who lives in Oregon, and a daughter who lives here in Modesto, and she and her husband are high school teachers. And I have 4 grandsons. I married Galen King 20 years ago. A couple of years ago, we just moved into a little tiny house over on I don't know what street I live on now, Auburn Street, over by Downey High School. One of those old ones in the old neighborhoods. And we love it over here. And we've got it kind of put together the way we kind of like it. And most of our furniture belonged to my grandparents, so it fits perfectly in the house. Looks just right. I worked many jobs. I taught preschool. I worked for my dad in the jewelry store for a number of years. I worked for my brother-in-law as an office manager for his gas station maintenance and repair company. And then I worked for the county for 10 years before I retired from there, so I could get a retirement after all those other jobs that didn't have any retirement with them. So I've been retired since, I think, 2012. And I love it. I love hanging out with my grandkids. They're all in college. I have, one that's just working, but there's 3 in college. 2 of them are doing Sacramento State by video, and 1 is doing San Francisco State by video. They're the light of my life and the joy of my existence. Spend a lot of time still volunteering at the church, just like I always did before, and everything's pretty much just like it always was. So, and I love reading Ken's books. Don't miss them if you haven't read them, read them. They're all great.
Thanks, Kathy.
Sure.
Anybody else like to give us an update?
I'd like to make a comment.
Okay, Ron, and then Joyce will be next.
Oh, okay. I want to thank Sandy Cummins
Oh, she's somewhere.
for
There she is.
being instrumental in trying to keep our class together all these years. In my opinion, if it wasn't for Sandy, we wouldn't even have class. And of course, later on, other people have come in and out and helped in various ways, but Sandy is the one.
Grand troublemaker.
Thanks,
Keeper of the
Sandy.
money.
It's because you guys are all worth it.
Hey, no doubt.
No doubt.
Well,
It's a great
everyone
class.
I talk to is shocked that we are all still in communication. I think Facebook, love it or leave it, but it's really helped us, some of us, stay together and find out what we're doing. And I look back on that time, it was a kind of strange interlude between the Summer of Love and all the unrest that happened later in the 70s because of Vietnam. We were kind of like innocents, and it was amazing. And the fact that we're all still here and healthy, that's great. So can't wait till next year. What is it, 55 in person?
That's the plan.
We hope we can go.
Yay.
We hope this thing is over.
Hopefully.
Well, I'd like to thank
Joyce.
Ken for sending out the email communications that he does and keeping track of everybody, because I was able to connect with Nancy Ogden after so many years. And it's been great to be in touch with her. So thanks, Ken.
Well, as Mr. Arnapol calls me, I'm the town crier.
True.
Keep the messages flying. Joyce,
Well,
give us an update.
I just want to say, I remember walking around Modesto in the fog back in the 1960s, 61, dancing cheek to cheek with Susan Bienvenue at the Roosevelt sock hop to Sea of Love. I've had a long, there's Randy up there, There's Barbara. I mean, it's just been a marvelous life having you all on my team and in my circle of friends. And I think of you every day. One of you or the other. I think of you every day, and you just light up my life. And that's what it's all about. And thanks, Sandy, and thanks, Ken, and thanks, Ron, for organizing all of us over the years. And I know we all love each other, because when we get together for reunions, it's just a marvelous, magical night.
Hey, Mark, was that the artificial fog or the real fog you're stumbling around in?
What's that? I didn't get that.
The real fog, I'm sure.
Was that the artificial fog or the real fog that you were?
Oh no, the real fog. Oh, that
Okay.
was a blast. That was a blast, man.
It was Thule fog, to be exact, right?
They don't have that much anymore, not like it used to be.
Out walking around in our trench coats and just laughing and going down to the Covell or the State Theater for Friday night movies and the little counter. Food counter in the back of Lucky's or whatever it was called. What was that called? Thrifties.
Thrifties.
Oh, it was marvelous. It was marvelous. We had the greatest childhood in the life of mankind.
Thank God our teenage years were
Let's let
before
Joyce give us an update.
Facebook and instant information that's out there now.
Yeah.
We'd all be in trouble. Okay, it's Joyce Landreth, and I ran away from home and moved to San Diego, where I met my husband from Hamilton, Ohio. And once he was discharged, I gave him an ultimatum, the Navy or me, and he picked me. So 37 and a half years married before he unfortunately passed away of lung cancer. But 2 children. My son is a sergeant with the Butler County Sheriff's Office and doing very well. And my daughter is retired after 20 years in working for Half Price Books, and to stay home and teach her 2 children schooling, because the granddaughter, who's 6, has a lymphatic malformation, so she's more susceptible. So her choice was a tough choice for her, but thank God I'm not having to do the homeschooling. I did that for 6 weeks in the spring, thought I'd lose all my hair, my nerves, but everybody's doing fine. I have a 25-year-old grandson who's 6'4". My son is 6'6", tall people in the family. But since I retired from the paper industry, it was Champion, then it became International Paper, and then it spun off into another company. After retiring there, I now have, for the past 5 years, volunteered for Women Helping Women, which is a sexual assault. I'm a hospital advocate whenever domestic violence or sexual assault, I go straight to the hospital and I am there with the survivor, we call them survivors, until they are discharged for that day, and just give them the resources and what we can do for them. We all do it as a volunteer, and it's so necessary, unfortunately, in today. But I get a lot of gratification knowing that I can empower women and give them their strength back to survive. So they also added in human trafficking. So it can be quite intense at times. I have wine glasses back here, and I make quite a bit of use of them.
Fantastic.
But stay busy.
Thanks, Joyce.
Like everyone else.
Mike, I don't know if you want, Mike Badziak, I don't know if you want to tell us what you've been doing with, oops, your video went away. What you're doing in Korea.
Is it back?
Yep, it's back.
Okay. Sure, I'll talk. Yeah, I live here in Houston, Texas. Moved here in what, 77 with my wife, Sheila. But I've actually slept around a bit before and after. After college,
What's that mean?
yeah, became a VISTA volunteer in Michigan, where I met my wife. And then worked in, after that year, I worked in Zanesville, Ohio, where she was from, as a truant officer for the Zanesville City Schools for 5 years. And then came down here to Texas to go to school at School of Public Health. And messed around here, both in school and worked at MD Anderson Cancer Center for 10 years. And then went back and got my final degree. And then in 1999, took off for France for a year and a half, which was quite a lot of fun. And worked there in Lyon. And then spent a month in Australia as a visiting scientist. And then my working career was quite short, 9 years in Seattle at the University of Washington there, and retired in 2008. Yeah. Then my final big endeavor was going to South Africa for 2 years in the Peace Corps, which was a lot of fun and quite an experience. Then came back here in 2012 and have been messing around here ever since. My wife passed away in 2016, but she gave me a kind of a she gave me a job to do, which I've been doing every year. Her father was MIA in the Korean War. And for the last 5 years, except this year, of course, I've taken a group of Korean War MIA KIA families to Korea, working with the Korean government there. And they very appreciative of what our families and what our sacrifices were to keep them a free nation. They are very, very appreciative and still remember what we did for them. So that's been a blessing to me to talk to these families, and a lot of them are still grieving, actually, because the parents left, the father left and never came back, brothers left and never came back, and you know, the Korean government is still the Korean people are very, very appreciative still of what we did for them, and this is very rewarding. I think that's about my life in a nutshell. I'm actually going to send Ken our website for this Korean program. If anybody knows any family who lost a relative, a loved one in the Korean War, would be eligible for this program. It's very heavily subsidized by the Korean government. So for a really very nominal fee, they will bring you over. We're looking to hope it starts up again next year, but you know, we never can tell. But I'll send Ken the blurb on that. So it's quite a nice program. So. Thanks. So that's about it. I'm kind of remodeling my house now, so maybe by the time I pass along, it'll be worth a little bit more than what we've let it go into. So anyway, I'll stop with that. So
thanks, Mike. I have to comment about South Africa. I was just there in March for 2 weeks in Zimbabwe, and oh my God, beautiful country, beautiful people.
Yeah.
We had such a great time. I was ready to go turn right around and go back again.
Yeah, it's a very complicated society with different ethnic groups
yes,
involved.
Very.
So
everyone should go. Everyone should have a chance to go.
Could Helmut speak for a moment before he has to sign off?
Yes. Well, thank you. It's getting a bit late over here, obviously. and I'm fading away, kind of. Anyway, I've had a very good life so far, as probably some of you know. I've been retired for 10 years now, and the last job I held was at the German air traffic control. I was a project engineer there. Other than that, been married for 41 years now, 3 children. Everybody's healthy, so I really have nothing to complain about right now. I'm traveling around Germany in my camper van. I always thought I'd see the world when I was younger, but so now I'm traveling around Europe. I still live in the Netherlands. Other than that, been married for 41 years now. 3. Everybody's healthy, so nothing to complain about right now. I'm traveling again, Lynn. So, and taking our way back south to Forchheim, and now I'm a little bit east of Frankfurt, and we'll be home by the end of the week, I suppose. And then next week, the weather's been excellent here in Germany. It's almost like California. It's very warm, not a cloud in the sky. So if it keeps like that, I'll probably go for another trip at some point.
Sounds great. California ain't what it used to be.
And now I'm a little bit east of Frankfurt. And then next week, the weather's been not a cloud in the sky. So if it keeps point,
excellent.
I see all the fires and I see the news, and I'm not very pleased at what I see. You're welcome.
Any comments, any questions, anything else anybody would like to chime in?
Well,
go ahead, Alan.
Thank you for putting this together, all you guys, and really appreciate it.
Well,
and that was what I was going to do, was thank everyone.
Sorry, Diane, what'd you say?
I was going to thank everyone as well and say that you're all very inspiring, and sounds like everyone's doing well. And so what a nice way to spend the day today, or at least part of the day.
Yeah. Nice hour.
Well, like I said, I think we may do it again because it's just fun seeing everybody.
Yeah.
Especially being in isolation. We don't see quite as many people as we used to.
Well, here the isolation is not quite as bad anymore. We can travel around, and the numbers have gone down considerably, and obviously are nothing like the COVID numbers are nothing like they are over in North America. When we go into a restaurant, we sign our names, and so in case somebody does get sick, they can follow it up. But so far, we've been very lucky, and I don't really know anybody who's had it.
That's because you were smart enough to deal with it.
Yes.
And don't make us all jealous, please.
I didn't. I had nothing to do with it. It's nothing.
No, the German people acted responsibly. I'll just leave it at that.
Yes.
It's a different society, you know.
Yep.
Anyway, good luck to everybody. Stay healthy. That's the most important thing, I believe.
Yep.
So as we were saying earlier, we do plan on doing a reunion next year, 55, if we can gather safely.
Well, if we can travel by that point, I will probably make it. If I'm still alive, who knows? You know.
Well, have you missed one? Have you missed one, Helmut?
No.
Every one.
No.
Yeah.
I've been to every one.
Yeah.
Except there was a little one in between that I didn't go to. I can't remember when that was.
May have been the birthday party we did a year or so ago.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're
Yeah, but
still
my
missing-
heart is always in California, so if I get the chance to go, I'll probably do it.
All right.
Wonderful. We're still missing some classmates, so we sent out that email.
Right.
It's amazing how many people we've lost contact with. So
we lost you.
Track some of those folks down, and then yeah, we probably will do this again, especially if we're sequestered for a while.
Okay, good idea. Well, I'm saying goodbye at this point. It's getting too late for me. So take care, everybody.
Okay. Take care.
Joining us, Helmut.
No, I've been to everyone.
Live long and prosper.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think
Bob,
on that note, go ahead.
We have a recording of all of this. The recording started whenever the first one logged in. So we're at an hour and 26 minutes right now, but I'll make that available. I'll get it to Ken, a link to Ken, and anybody that wants it will be able to view it then. So your call.
I'll send it out to all the classmates so they can see it. I know there were a number that had a conflict or something came up and were anxious to see the recording. So I'll get that out to everybody.
Yeah, thanks
Very
for the
good.
help, Jim, in putting it together. So
Well, it's just great seeing everybody. I mean, Zoom has become the new reality, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, you know, I would not have seen Dave Bowman if he wasn't here today. He's in Arkansas.
Oh, my.
Known Dave since second grade. So, and Jim probably as long, second grade also.
yeah.
It's nice to see everybody.
And you too, Robert Moresi.
Yeah, wherever we see, oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's
Not
hanging
skulking.
out back there.
He's a stalker.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, buddy.
All right, well, I think it's time to say adios. Happy trails and
Adios all.
that.
Take care.
Bye.
Love you all.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye, everybody.
You.
See you again
Be
soon.
well.
Bye-bye.
Get together again soon.